Joe, we always talk about our Jackson County government like it's a thing.
And yet it's really a group of people that work for and serve at the county.
A group of really smart and dedicated people.
Come with us now and meet those folks that work for you.
Hello, I'm Bill Mance with Jackson County Close-Up. We have the pleasure today to spend some time with Eric Geyer, the director of our Jackson County Community Justice Department. And you know, Eric, one of the things that we try to in Jackson County Close-Up to really have people understand is that I think a lot of times when you meet with people who work for the government, if you will, that that they have sort of this kind of feeling or the way that they feel inside about that. And so one of the things we tried to do is really talk about it's a bunch of really great people who are working really hard and doing the things they're doing. So we do this segment called Meet the People.
Okay.
So how long have you been working for Jackson County?
Just over 20 years. So I started in 1997.
Gotcha.
Working for Health and Human Services.
At what, 5?
I was fresh out of college, but I remember coming to work for the county and just kind of seeing it as this, holy cow, it's the county. And then the longer you work with the county, the more you get to know the personalities, the more you get to see the dedication, the more, you know, when I started, I would marvel at these folks, particularly at Roads and Parks, who'd worked here for 35, 30 years. I was like, how's that even possible? And now that I'm over 20, you know, with the county, I'm like, I can see how that works. I can see how that's possible. So,
and you're that guy. That the
I'm now probably
people,
that guy that people are saying 20 years. It's been fulfilling, challenging, supportive. It really does have a great feel for as large as the county is. The personalities and the dedicated staff really do stand out over this time that I've worked here.
Walk us through the kind of where you started and,
Right.
and where you are now.
Well, I started working out in White City at the Rogue Family Center, and I was doing youth and family outreach. We were trying to encourage families to really engage prenatal care, to engage child checkups. We were doing a lot of public health initiatives around the idea that if we can get adolescents and young families engaged with their primary care physician and with different health interventions, we were going to see healthier kids in a healthier community. So that was a great opportunity for me to work with a number of different county agencies, state agencies. Everybody was under one roof at the Rogue Family Center.
Which was innovative in itself at that point.
Innovative in itself. Yeah. It was nationally recognized as a model of service. I'm pretty proud of my time out there working under Mark Orndorff and Diana Hamilton, so another couple county folks. But it was an opportunity for me to really see how all the pieces could work together well, from law enforcement to children's services to mental health, employment, all these different things that we're trying to get healthier folks in our community working under one roof. So did that for 4 years, and then I went over to the juvenile department. So I went from working in White City with focused behavioral health and other health initiatives to working with the juvenile department as a supervisor with our shelter program, which has morphed into a behavioral health residential program. But the idea of working with adolescents in the juvenile system who were either between placements, needing some sort of assessment, needing to be stabilized. Again, it gave me an insight into the number of players that go into this work. From the dependency side, when we're working with child welfare staff, to the delinquency side, we're working with parole and probation, to the role of the courts, to the role of different state placements where kids go to and hopefully come back with a different skill set. All of these folks working together under the juvenile side. And again, the dedicated staff who are dealing with really difficult kids at times and just putting their hearts out there for them, really inspiring. So after that, I went to work out at the Transition Center in Talent. So that was about 2005, 2006. Started looking at as that program was growing from starting out as just specifically for work restitution, putting crews out into the community and doing work, which is still the cornerstone of what we do, to looking at transitional resources, looking at work release, bringing in the federal system so that we're coordinating our response to how people are transitioned back into our community, looking at state inmates coming into what we're doing, and then adding a residential treatment piece out there. It's just been really inspiring to be able to see that program grow into what it is now, which is, again, unparalleled within the state. So And then for the last 2 years, I've been the director for our department. So I think I mentioned at the time that it was the job I'd worked my whole career for, and I still look at it that way. Every day I'm just fortunate to be able to do this work with these people, and serve this population. I feel so lucky to be able to do that, and I'm still inspired by this work, both the challenge it presents, and I've said it, you've got to be able to deal with hope and heartbreak to do this job, because we're trying to get folks to change behaviors, and not all of them do. So sometimes prison's a reality, and sometimes our folks don't make it through like we'd like to see.
What does Eric Geyer do when he's not working? What do you like to do?
What do I like to do? I usually like to get out somewhere on the Pacific Crest Trail. We've got 4 dogs that have come through the shelter, and I take that pack of dogs out somewhere on a trail, and I just get away from it. Walking ideally with my family, but getting into nature in Jackson County. That's how I spend my time, is out on the trail.
Good. And the dogs' names are?
We have Cassie, who's a golden retriever. We have Apple, who's a big kind of lab rot mix. We have Tiffany, who's a Chug, Chihuahua Pug mix. And we have Sydney, who's kind of a cattle dog that will nip, so I've always got to make sure I've got her on leash and keeping her close to me.
Yeah, that's a pack
that
to
is a
be. Yeah, they're dragging you down the trail.
Right. So absolutely.
So good.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time today. We really appreciate learning more about the department and more about you. And thanks for doing the work you do.
Thanks, Bill. Really appreciate this.